Scott Grayson out of Austin, Texas, CrossFit Voodoo, or is it Voodoo CrossFit?
Voodoo CrossFit.
Voodoo CrossFit. So you've been an affiliate for a very long time. Tell us about when you got started, why you got started, and how long you've been an affiliate.
Yeah, so we got started in 2011. I was in the wine industry and just kind of, you know, just realized quickly that, having a company credit card, take people out to nice restaurants and nice dinners and just like carte blanche on the wine list and all this kind of stuff. I was just like, this isn't gonna end well, and I had an ex mother-in-law that was really getting into CrossFit, and she was telling me about it, and this was like early onset. This was like nasty girls,
Yeah.
workout being posted, and she talked about it, and she was, at the time, she had just gotten pregnant. She's like, oh, I can't wait till after my pregnancy. I'm gonna start doing CrossFit, and she walked her dog like 5 miles every day, so she was relatively fit, and man, I went back to like help her move some boxes right before the pregnancy, and she's like, CrossFit, and I can't wait. I'm gonna start, and she showed me the Nasty Girls workout, and I was like, a video, and I'm like, where are they keeping these type people? Like, what is this, And so I'm like not paying attention, and then meanwhile I'm going to like a Globo gym, and I go back like months later, 9-10 months later, and the affiliate was in Houston. Nikki Golden was the lady's name, and I go see her, and this is like 9-10 months later, and she's jacked, and I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible. And she's like, you want to go with me today and go see this event? And it was a regionals workout in Houston in a very small area. Like the whole thing was, hasn't even built up to anything crazy. And I walked in just at the moment Asia Barto was hitting this snatch, this like crazy heavy snatch. And I was like, done, I'm sold. Like, show me the road. So started out of my garage, I just bought this new home in Austin, fresh grass, nice new neighborhood. And I started working out like crazy every day, just kind of following some stuff on YouTube or whatever. And my neighbors were like, what are you doing, man? You look great, and can we work out with you? So I start having them work out, I'm like giving them stuff to do. And my ex-wife at the time was like, hey, we don't want to get sued. You better go get certified or something. So I go get certified. Meanwhile, I'm just like building this 50 something people in my garage in the evening. My front yard is the only new home in this neighborhood we have no grass because everyone's doing like burpees in my yard. The neighborhood actually loved it because all their kids were in the street doing jumping jacks and stuff while we're messing around, And just from there ended up, opening doors to my affiliate, and the rest is crazy history.
Have you been in the same location since 2011?
No, we've actually had to move. We had an affiliate open up like at our front door, so we were like, we gotta move a little bit. So,
have I been to your box before? I think I have.
I don't think so. No.
Okay. No, because we've been to Austin a bunch. Did you go? You went to the Medical Society event we had in Austin, right?
No, but prior to that, there was a couple months right before that. We went to CrossFit Cedar Park. I met you there.
Okay.
Had a little couple of affiliate owners meet up.
Discussion. Yep. Got it. Okay. Seeing Asia Barto snatch back then, he's always been really strong.
Yeah.
He's not from where's he from? Houston, right?
Now I don't know where he's from, but he was out of Houston. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you ever cross paths with him? I haven't heard that name in a long time.
No, I actually hit him up a couple of times just through through social media and stuff. Like a couple of years, after he had gone to the games and stuff like that. But I'm not really sure what he's doing now. I know he had a box for a while. I'm not sure if he still does.
Going back to your gym, and you said you had to move because someone opened up near. How far did you move away from them, or from your original location?
So we were about 400 meters, and we moved about 800 meters. I mean, not far. I mean, just to keep a hold of our clientele, and we had an opportunity come up, so we kind of jumped on it. But it's in a more of a like visible spot and stuff like that. So
And is that the current spot you're in now?
it is, yeah.
Okay. So you're still 800 meters away from another. Are they still an affiliate or?
You know what? We're not. We're more than 800. We're about a mile, probably about a mile
Okay,
away.
got it,
Yeah,
got it,
they're
got it.
and they're still an affiliate.
And how long were you guys that close?
Maybe a year and a half.
Okay. I've known of two other locations that, like your example is really extreme, like closeness. I've known of there was two gyms in San Diego who were really close, downtown San Diego, right near, there's a place called Chicano Park. It was, I'm drawing a blank on their names, but they were like same thing, 200 or 300 meters away.
Yeah.
And very different feel, very different gyms. And
Yeah.
then actually, Guido Trinidad's gym in Miami, CrossFit. What's he called his gym? I'm drawing a blank. It's where Noah trains. His gym was 200 meters from another gym, 200 meters away from another gym. Definitely a challenging environment. And, over the years, we've had a lot of people have discussed and asked for doing territorial protection for affiliates. That's an interesting one because the territory enforcement for every area would be very different.
Mm-hmm.
And B, once we start enforcing territory, I think it'll change the nature of our relationship with the affiliation model, et cetera. So always a discussion point that is revisited every couple of years.
It is, and probably my brother is in the taekwondo business, right? He's owned his territory for a long time. The big thing I always keep an eye out on is if he ever sells, this is a part of his package that he can sell, and that's a big selling point to his when he goes to sell his business, and I don't have that.
So you can just be as a taekwondo gym. Is it just taekwondo, or is it a certain association within taekwondo?
There's two big associations, the ATA and the one that I think he's in now. I can't remember all the.
Okay, got it. But it's not like taekwondo. It's definitely like there's some associations within taekwondo.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, interesting. Tell us about the Open. I know you've done a lot of different things throughout the years. You've done some what I think are fundamentally kind of radical things that have worked really well and that honestly I've never even heard of. So I appreciate you sharing those stories with me, and I'd like you to share them with everyone here.
Yeah. I think, it's funny, right? I'm from New Orleans. It's where the name Voodoo came from, Voodoo CrossFit. And
it's not from the donuts. Isn't Voodoo Donuts popular there?
It's not from the donuts. They're pretty good. They're all right. They're like, it's weird because they're like a cake substance. That's not a real donut. They put a lot of crazy stuff on it. That's not a donut. But being from New Orleans and being over here in Austin, every year the Open sits in the way for me of going back home for Mardi Gras. All right, so I'm petitioning to move the Open. No, not really.
That's funny.
But it always messes with Mardi Gras. I bet all the people in New Orleans right now are like, yeah, but the for us, it being that it took the place of that, it was always like this like celebration thing. I don't know, man. The Open would happen, and it was just kind of like gearing up for these, like, I don't know. We just had this big celebration at our gym every time, and it started getting bigger and bigger. It was like this year we had this many people. Next year it's this many people. And we started noticing that, like, man, this is like Open time's coming. Like, oh, we got to get serious. We got, okay, let's talk about, like, we know it's going to be extra hours. We've always had people that, maybe even like to do the workout a second time. We never squashed that for whatever reason. It was always kind of like, I always thought it was kind of cool because for those psychopaths that want to try and go back and, like, man, if you want to go back and redo your score on that ridiculous workout, like, I'll be there. You know what? I'll watch. I'm intrigued. I ain't doing it, but I'll watch you do it, and I'll count for you and all that good stuff. So we were kind of like, we don't want to, we don't really necessarily want to squash that. And, but over the years it was like, between, getting people to come in and count, people take judges course, this, that, it was kind of like, it built up to such a monster that it was like, man, I started kind of noticing possibly like different affiliates having like almost like similar things where we would talk to people when they would drop in and they would tell us about their open experience. And some gyms just kind of weren't doing that anymore. You know, they were maybe even taking it and they were like, yeah, you know, our gym just has like it's programmed on Friday. And those couple of people that did the open, you know, that signed up, like they're paying attention to that stuff, you know. But for us, man, we just always like everybody do the open, you know, like even if we have to scale it past the means of scaling it that it's written, we're going to keep everybody safe, but we just want everybody in there doing it. That's it, you know. And it did get to the point where we were like, okay, hold on a second. Like, you know, we don't want to get to the point where we kind of squash this down to like, you know, certain times and this and that. We like that, but we're like, man, you know, the coaches, for a coach to maybe even bring up like, hey, these extra hours, do we get paid for these? Like, yeah, you know, this should definitely happen. Okay, well, where's that coming from, you know? And then maybe even looking at things like, you know, for us, it definitely is a time we can see it where new customer like acquisition maybe sits in the back seat a little bit. I mean, we don't mean for it that way. It's just all of a sudden we're focused internally instead of focusing on the big picture of like new business, whatever. And so there's a cost that comes to some of this stuff as you trickle it down. And so we were like, man, you know, what if we made the open bigger? And it was just kind of one of those things where it's like, hey, if you throw a party at your house, right, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger, and you go, dude, like, we want this thing to get even bigger. It's like, we're going to have to charge a little money at the door. Like, is everybody on board? Everybody pitches in and we throw this thing bigger. And it kind of started like that. And, you know, it got to the point to where now we charge, we do it a little differently. We throw, we do a lot of the intramural stuff. I don't want to rehash it. I saw everybody's kind of getting kind of somewhat of an idea of how like maybe intramural, you split into teams, you know, do some different things like that. So we covered those bases, right? We try and get everyone to take the judges course. So it's built into our like team structure thing. It just helps out tremendously. It really gives the knowledge base to all of the, you know, all of the community of like, oh, this is why they've been telling me all year to get lower in the squat. I see it. And we don't even really have to mess with it on them after that point. So it's like almost like a mini L1. And we really built it up to like, hey, this is what you got to do, right? So moving from there, it was like, okay, you know, we can either sign up at .com because last thing we wanted it to feel like was like a money grab or something. So we were like, look, you can sign up at .com. You'll still get high fives. You'll still get a judge, all this good stuff. But as like almost like an upsell, it's like we want to throw in some events. And also we were very cognizant that this is the community thing, right? This isn't built for like just the same 10 people that win every workout and all this stuff's fine. We wanted this to be like for everyone. So it was like, okay, we're going to build a point structure into stuff that's outside of just the regular open stuff, right? So like, you know, week one, this time we have a company coming in that is that has like a laser tag. But it's like this next level laser tag where they're coming in with like these TV screens and they have like you know, some of the guns are sniper rifles, some of them are flamethrowers, some of them are, you know, shotguns and all this stuff like a video game. And so there's gonna be a points structure based into that, you know, not just for doing that workout of the open that week do you get points, and then of course the couple of people at the top will get points, but then also based off of the team's representation in the laser tag, right? There's point structure built into that. So we go into week two. Week two, we have it's like a archery meets dodgeball thing. And it's like the company's like, yeah, you know, it's kind of like an American Gladiators type thing. And we're like, dude, we're in, this sounds great. And so again, a point structure built off that. On week three, we're doing like a Family Feud, like the game show. So we're going to poll everybody at the gym on all things CrossFit, all things like voodoo culture, a lot of music stuff, probably some movie stuff or whatever. Again, build that into where it's like, you know, got some sort of a point structure with that as well. And then on week four, we have Texas All-Star Wrestling. So it's the oldest wrestling federation in Texas. And they set up a ring in our driveway of the gym. And we put up signs and invite like everyone. It's a free event. Whether or not you're doing the open, whether you're not go to our gym, right? We tell people we're baking in a point structure of just how many people you bring to this thing. And we just want to see, we just want the cops to shut us down, dude. Just make it, we want the news to come out. We just want it to be ridiculous, So after that, we're making a week 4, man. We personally miss the days of the long open. Like,
Oh, wow.
I think when you build it up like this and it's this much like over the top, which, I would encourage affiliates to maybe look at something similar where it's like, just like make something so over the top that your members are gladly going to pay. I feel confident we could have said, based off of like the expense and everything that we put in this, we could have said it was $200 this year and no one would have scoffed at it. Nobody.
Wow.
Like there's no one that's not doing it. Like everybody's doing this, no problem. On our last week, what we do is there's a video. I don't know if you remember, I messaged you about it, and it was like Again Faster. Was it Again Faster and Rogue?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Tom with Throwdown.
Okay, yeah, and that was like one of the coolest videos when I first got into CrossFit, and I remember they picked Camille was on one of the team, and she's picking out one of the movements, and
she was on Again Faster.
Yeah, and then Miranda was on the other side, and they had to try to pick a movement that maybe sabotaged the other team, and I remember that whole video because I remember it was handstand walks, and Miranda at the time couldn't do the handstand walks, and and so you were like, you guys, go to lunch. I'm going to put the workout together. So on week 4, all the teams come up with a movement, and I kind of just monitor it and whatever. Program a 4th workout. And last year, it was the complete hit of the whole thing. And, it's a blast. It's a blast, so, I know some affiliates maybe are looking for ways to possibly, they talk about the affiliation fees and this and that, but, we as a culture have built up the open. You can't open Instagram right now and not see all things CrossFit Open. Like, awesome. This is the biggest thing that CrossFit and HQ have developed as a major community.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of like an easy way to kind of really get a hold of this thing as affiliates, make it your own and build your brand, which is what Greg said on the outset, and I think I think they can put their own flavor to it and stuff like that and really make it something special. And that special thing is what all of these other places, just all these other things that are out there in these ecosystems, they just don't have.
No.
It's that cool factor that is CrossFit. And then you do this, so.
Damn, that's wild. How would you I loved hearing that. How would you describe your culture? Because it seems like you guys have a very unique culture. What would you say to describe it?
I think CrossFits are all CrossFit gyms are all kind of the same, right? They're all going to say, hey, culture, community. And I don't know how to define our culture different from anyone else's because we don't go anywhere else. We're just inside our 4 walls, and we don't know what the places down the street are like. So that's kind of tough, right? That's like if
It's definitely, I'll say this, there's definitely a culture of caring, it seems like, of the people. You care a lot about your clients, right?
I'm hoping all affiliates are like that, but our people are awesome. They're really cool. They're great. I'm sure every CrossFit gym says this about their people. So
I agree. I think I would like to think that everyone says that about their people too, and I think they do. But are you guys like just a fun-loving group? Just like,
we used to, in our early outset, we were a wild group. Like, it was pretty crazy,
See, this is the stuff I want to hear.
We've always done some stuff outside the box. We've been to Mardi Gras a couple of times. New Orleans is a gym. Right now, if any of our old gym members are hearing this, they're like, oh my God, don't talk about what happened. We've had some crazy stuff happen down in the French Quarter, not very PG. Outside of that, we've taken trips down to, the Gulf Coast, at the end of the summer, like beach trips for like 4 days, stuff like that. We always tried to do some stuff that was outside of just like, just the normal ebb and flow of gyms. We liked to kind of make these like, just like big marks for ourselves, um, something a little different that, I mean, we're all going to look back on this when we're way older. And
Yeah.
what kind of time did you have when you did CrossFit? And I was always like, we have people who have been with us for years and stuff, and we want them to look back and be like, that period of my life was crazy. Like, and it was a lot of fun, and I did CrossFit. That was nuts. And just like CrossFit was definitely the crazy thing to do. And we were in it. We were part of that, so yeah.
That's awesome. I'm going to switch gears a little. A couple questions before we close out. So I like asking this to everyone. Sure. What do you guys follow for programming?
Yeah. So, over the years, so I feel like we've kind of done it all. Back in the day, it was, everything from Outlaw to
Outlaw. Yeah. I haven't heard that in a long time.
Right. Yeah. Many late nights, me and the coaches, like we would start our workout after our last class. Last class is like 7:30 p.m. So we weren't even getting started till like 9 o'clock at night. And we would train till like, almost midnight sometimes. Then we did, always in between the programs, we kind of program for ourselves a little bit, and then we bounce in and out of programs, and I feel like we've kind of almost done them all. And what's crazy is I will say at the end of it, you come full circle after all of that different stuff and, really realize that main site that's it, dude. That's it. That's the nuts and bolts of everything that we were told at the very beginning. Everybody tries to reinvent that wheel, I think, before you finally come full circle and you realize short and intense, keep your workout short and intense, couplets to triplets, go heavy once a week, go for a long workout once a week. We program for ourselves. I do look at CAP every week to kind of get a little bit of, oh, that's cool how they did that, or that time domain, or this and that. And sometimes take some stuff from that and maybe just modify it around our facility a little bit, and biggest thing I noticed from programming for the gym is like when I lay off of it a little too long, I get rusty, and that's kind of, I don't really like that. So I try to keep my hands in it as much as I can.
How many coaches do you have?
I think we have 9, maybe. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you coach a lot of classes still?
I do. So a lot of my coaches are like, they're available a lot of times, like currently right now, we've got a lot of them that are available all at the same time. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, guys, like, so it keeps me coaching. But again, like once I step out of that coaching role and I'm just doing a lot of floating around, even that stuff can be one of those things where you fall into that, oh man, I'm getting rusty at this. So I think it's healthy that I'm in there coaching some classes. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, especially because at the end of the day, you're the keeper of the flame for your culture. So like being close to it and running it.
Yeah, you're right. But these coaches, the coaches that I have are, I've got to give a big shout to these guys because man, they carry that flag like perfect. Awesome. Like these dudes are.
Well, I'll say this, that's coming from the leadership that you lead with and that you convey to them. So congrats on that.
Well, thanks. But they're awesome, man. They're great. They're great. Like it's so good to be able to step out of the gym and just know that they, that they live it and breathe. They're just like, the whole mood of the culture and everything. Like it's them. It's just as much them as it is me. So
yes. All right, Scott. Well, I appreciate the time. That was a lot of fun. Thanks for sharing some insight into how you do things, how you did it a little differently. Appreciate that. I think affiliates will be able to learn and look forward to seeing you guys on the leaderboard. And I definitely want to follow up and hear about how the fun engagements you guys do, how they work out this year.
For sure. I'll make sure and tag you. So yeah, if anybody wants to like watch along, I'm sure there's gonna be a ton of stuff just on our Instagram, Voodoo CrossFit. And we appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Scott. Appreciate it.
All right. Take care.
Bye.